and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making an all-time classic, apple pie. Yes. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes, the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, guys, starting with our pie crust, we have about 2 cups of flour. We're going to add to that about a tablespoon of sugar. This is organic cane juice sugar that I'm using. You can use regular sugar if you like. And to that, we're adding about a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to mix this all together, and I have a whisk here. I like to use the whisk because it helps in sifting the flour. So you don't need a sifter, you can just use a whisk. Okay, now guys, I'm going to actually grate in my butter. To this flour, we're going to add about a stick and a half of butter, and we're going to also add about an ounce of shortening. I like to grate my butter in, it just is a little bit easier. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into the flour. Now, I'm going to be using a pastry cutter to do that with, but by all means, you can simply just use a fork if you don't have a pastry cutter. Okay, so I'm going to finish grating all this butter into my flour. And now we're just about ready to go ahead and use our pastry cutter and get this all combined into like pea-sized little pieces. You want your flour and your butter to be in pea-sized little pieces. All right, guys, I'm going to put in my shortening. Then we're going to just cut it all in together using the pastry cutter. And like I said, if you don't have a pastry cutter, go ahead and just use a fork. Okay, so we're done here. And as you can see, it's all in pea-sized little pieces, coarse pieces. All right, so now guys, we're going to be adding water to it. You just want to add just enough water to your dough to make it come together. And from there, we will knead it into a soft dough. So I'm adding probably about just a teaspoon or so of water each time. It's cold water. You kind of want to work with cold water, cold butter when you're making pie crust. And again, I'm just going to keep adding a little bit at a time until it starts to come together. And you want it to be sticky to your hand. So I'm just feeling to see how sticky it is. Going to add a little bit more water in there because it's not quite sticky enough for me yet. Okay, we are done here and it has come together. Just enough. Okay, so I'm going to spread some flour on my countertop. You can use whatever surface you have. And from there, So I am just going around the edge, crimping it with my fingers. I am using my two fingers on my left hand to just press in between my index finger on my right hand. So we're just going around it, crimping it. You can also do this with a fork as well. You can just take a fork and crimp it all the way around the edges. That'll work too. All right, guys, now for this little piece of dough I have here, I'm going to make an apple to put on top of the pie crust. So we're going to just roll this dough out very thin because we don't want a thick piece of dough because it's going to lay on top of more dough. So we don't want to have a big piece of thick dough right in the middle of our pie. So I'm going to roll it out pretty thin, and then I'm just going to hand form the apple, hand form a couple of leaves, and put it on top. Then after that, guys, we'll be ready for the oven. Now, when we get ready to go into the oven, we're actually going to put our pie on another baking sheet just in case it runs over. We want to make sure it doesn't do too much running over. And we're going to bake it at 450 degrees for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to turn our oven down to 350 degrees and bake it for another 40 to 45 minutes, keeping an eye on it at the 30-minute mark to make sure our edges aren't browning too much. Everyone's oven is different, so if you find that your edges are starting to brown quite a bit, but your pie is not quite ready, go ahead and put some foil around the edges of your pie to prevent it from over browning before your pie is actually done. Okay, guys, now I'm going to finish up this decoration and we'll be back. All right, guys, we are ready to go into the oven. I'm just going to make sure that my leaf and my apple here is connected to the other part of the dough. So I'm just pressing down gently. Want to make some vents in it to release that steam. So I'm making 4 slits, one on each side of the pie. Then after that, guys, we are ready for baking our apple pie. I'm going to put it on another tray so it won't run over in the oven, and we'll be back when we're all done.
At Bluehost, you're not just making a website, you're making an impact with your blog, small business, or side hustle. It all starts when you first log into your Bluehost account. We'll help guide you through the basic decisions for setting up your new WordPress site. It's the get to know you phase of our new relationship. Then check out our all-in-one dashboard, which makes it easy to manage all the major functions of your website. Think of it as your site's stylish new headquarters. From here, you can choose from hundreds of custom themes for the design you want. Discover and install essential plugins for the features you need. And you've got yourself a website that can sell, share, and do almost anything. Then take your website even further with smart marketing tools that boost your site in search results and help draw in the largest crowds. Whether you're new to WordPress or a seasoned pro, our experts are just a chat, email, or phone call away to help you turn a good site into an amazing site. So come on, ready to make your impact? Start building today with Bluehost, the perfect place to WordPress.
Yes, we are out of the oven, guys. Now I just like to brush the top of my pies with a little butter. I typically don't put an egg wash on top of them. You can. I just like to brush mine with butter when they come out. I think it adds just one more layer of flavor. And I like the way that it looks. It's not too shiny, it's not too sugary. It's just a nice, simple, buttery dough that's nice and flaky. You'll see, guys, in a minute. Here is a slice. All right. Take a look at that slice, guys. See the flakiness in the crust? You can see the layers and the thickness of the pie from all those apples we put in there. Guys, I love it when you come and hang out and cook with me. Thank you so much. And if you guys like these how-to videos, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos. And tap the bell so you'll always be notified every time I upload a new one. Guys, leave me some comments and give me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. It's such a joy to cook with you guys each and every time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making spicy, sweet, and sour sticky pork. Yes. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, guys, we have boneless pork chops right here. These are center cut, and I'm just going to slice them up really, really thin because we want our sticky pork to be in strips and we want thin strips so that it will be really tender and easy to bite. So I'm just cutting each piece in half and then in thirds. And as you can see, this is a really thin strip. So you want to cut everything in thin strips like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all of this meat cut up. Then we can move forward from there. Okay, so we are all done cutting up our pork and it's in nice strips. Next, we're going to make our sauce for the meat. Okay, guys, I am going to be putting in a half a cup of organic cane sugar. You can use regular sugar. You can also use honey. This is ground ginger that I'm going to be putting in next. And I'm going to put in about a teaspoonful of just ground ginger. You can also use regular ginger that you grate up. Next, I am going to put in garlic. This is minced garlic. You can surely chop up garlic and put it in, but I'm making this quick and easy. And I'm down to the bottom of my jar of this garlic here. And this is probably about a tablespoon of the minced garlic that I'm actually putting into the sauce here. Okay, next we're going to be adding molasses. I'm putting in about a tablespoonful of molasses. This is just regular dark molasses. You can use honey. You can skip this step if you don't like molasses. You can also use maple syrup. Just think that the molasses gives it a nice dark color and a nice richness. All right, guys. Yes, yes, yes. Next, we're putting in hot sauce. This is just regular hot sauce. You can put in probably about a tablespoonful, but if you want it to be more hot, put in more. If you like that heat, go ahead, put in a couple of tablespoons. And this is white wine vinegar. I'm also putting in a tablespoon of white wine vinegar. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to get this mixed up, and it's going to be kind of thick in the beginning, but don't worry, we've got a few more things to add, and that's going to thin it out as well. But you want to go ahead and combine these first few ingredients. You can use a spoon or a whisk like I'm using. Just make sure that they are well incorporated. Okay, next I'm going to put in soy sauce, guys. This is going to thin it out a little bit. We will be adding water, but that's going to come in a little later. And I'm putting in a tablespoon of soy sauce. And I'm going to go ahead and combine this really well. Just make sure you get it all stirred up. You don't want to have any ingredients left out of the mixture. Okay, guys. Now we're going to season our pork with salt and pepper and get that all rubbed in so that we can get the flavors going on our actual meat. You always want to season in layers. So if you have flour or something, you want to season that. You want to season your meat. You want to season your batter. You want to put seasoning in everything so that you'll have layers and layers of seasoning. And I'm just going to go ahead and massage the salt and pepper in so that it's all over each piece really, really well. Okay, guys. Now we are ready to cook our meat. I'm using some olive oil, probably about 2 tablespoons is what I'm putting in. My skillet is already warm. I'm going to let the oil heat up a little bit and give it a good swirl so that it will be all over the side. So as my meat gets over the sides of the skillet, it will be okay and it won't stick. Okay, so I'm going to actually cook this in a couple of batches. I want the pieces to brown. We are going to flip them over. So I don't want to just dump it all in and crowd my skillet. I want my skillet to be full, but not overcrowded. So I'll have an opportunity to actually turn each piece over as it gets brown. So I'm just going to keep putting this in until my skillet is full. Okay, I think that does it. Now that side is cooked and I'm flipping it over. You can see that it's nice and brown. Yes, just what we wanted. We want to get that color on it and sear in those seasonings, that salt and pepper that we put on there. We want to make sure it gets a good sear so those seasonings are nice and incorporated into the meat. Okay, guys, yes. So now we're all done with that batch. So I'm going to take this out. We're going to put our second batch in and get it cooked up. Then we'll be ready for our sticky sauce. Awesome. Okay, guys, got that done. Now let's put the rest of our meat in and get that cooked up as well. All right, guys, we are done cooking this meat up. And after I get the meat out, guys, I'm actually going to take my wooden spatula and scrape up the bits of meat that's kind of stuck to the bottom of the skillet. We actually want that. We want to get that unstuck so that we can incorporate it with our sauce. And when we put our sauce in, it's actually going to deglaze the bottom of the pan, lifting all of the seasoning and the flavor from the meat up into the sauce. So you just want to kind of give it a good scrape. If you don't have a wooden spatula, you can use a plastic spatula, but do not use a metal spatula. It will scrape up your skillet. Okay, so we have our sauce. I'm adding a fourth cup of water. And now we're getting ready to deglaze our skillet. Give it a good stir. Make sure it's well combined. All right, let's get this poured in. Yes. Look at that steam, guys. Awesome sauce. Okay, guys. And it's starting to cook. You can see it bubbling up already. That's exactly what we want. We're going to stir this until it bubbles really well. Then we'll be adding our meat. And this has actually deglazed the bottom. So all that you saw on the bottom has lifted up into the sauce, just adding more and more flavor to it. So just keep stirring. You want to keep stirring this because it is very sweet with the sugar in it and the molasses. So it will easily stick to your skillet. So just keep stirring. All right, you can see the bubbles starting to form really well. That means it's also reducing, and that's what we want. Eventually, we're going to reduce this sauce down to no sauce at all, pretty much, and it'll be all attached to the meat. Okay, it's time for us to add our meat because it's bubbling really well. Okay, get all of that good meat in there. And now you just want to stir it up and continue to have it on a medium-high heat and let it reduce. You need the sauce to reduce in order for it to get all over the meat and stick to the meat and become sticky as well. So we're just going to keep stirring this here until we are done. Yes. Okay, you can see that it has reduced down some right here. And you can tell when your sauce is starting to reduce down because you can see it sticking to the spoon a little bit. And that's exactly what we want. Okay, we are just about done here. As you can see, it's really sticking to the spoon now, and you can look and tell that it's incorporated into the meat and it has reduced down quite a bit. We're going to just let this reduce down just a tad bit more. You can see the thickness, and that's good. That's exactly what we want, guys. Awesome. Yes. Okay, guys, as you can see, the liquid has reduced down and it's just sticky sauce now. And that's what we want. We now have our spicy, sweet, and sour sticky pork. Okay, let's get this plated. I have some rice here. Guys, if you want to know how to cook the rice in a pot, I have the link right above. Please click on that and check that video out on how to make your rice nice and fluffy and perfect every time without watching the pot forever. Okay, so I'm just going to put my rice around the rim of the inside of the plate. I like to plate it this way, guys, because I don't need a full plate of rice, and then I can put everything else in the middle. Okay, yes. So you can feel free to plate any way you want, but I'm going to go ahead and just finish plating this. Up. And these are just some steamed vegetables. vegetables. These are just basic steamed vegetables. It's carrot, cauliflower, broccoli. I just steamed them in the pot, that's all. And now we're going to top it with our spicy, sweet, and sour sticky pork. Yes. Okay, guys, just want to put it right on top, right in the center. Okay, we are just about done here. As soon as I get through plating this, we are done and we can dig in and eat. Awesome sauce. Okay, guys, I think we are just about done. Yes. Take a look, guys. Doesn't that look yummy? Okay. We are done, guys, and this is the finished product. This is our spicy, sweet and sour sticky pork over rice and mixed steamed veggies. Yes. And guys, if you like these how-to videos, consider supporting me over on Patreon. I have the link in the description as well as right here. Check out my merch. Here's the link to that too, and it's also in the description. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me some comments. Tap the bell so you'll always be notified and give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey everyone, welcome into my kitchen today. I'm going to be doing a live cooking demo. Snacks, it is. Yes, I'm going to be frying up some crab sticks, guys. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So come on in and join me and let's get cooking. Yes. All right, all right, all right. Yes, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Let's see, adjust this a little bit. I guess that's okay now. Need to get a couple of spoons over here. Yes, yes, yes. Need to get my jalapeno peppers to cut up as well. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We're ready to start cooking. Had to grab a jalapeno pepper. This is a quick dish, so I'm not going to be on very long, but I'm going to go ahead and get started so that you all know what I'm doing. I have some crab sticks right here. Can you see that? Let me turn this down a little bit. There you go. Got some crab sticks right here. I'm going to be frying those up with a hot and spicy batter. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm going to try to angle my computer down a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Try to work over here off of this corner. The first thing I need to do is get my batter ready. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my jalapeno. What first here? Yes, 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 yes. And while I'm doing that, let me go ahead and get my skillet on. It's gonna take a minute for that cast iron skillet to heat up. So I thought I better go ahead and get that going. Get my jalapenos chopped up really good and fine here. That's going directly into the batter. Yes, nice and spicy. And I'm going to also be putting in some hot sauce. Yes. All right, guys. All right, all right, all right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Make sure I get this cut up really, really fine. Might need a couple more pieces in here because I like it hot and spicy. Yes. This is just a jalapeno pepper that I'm cutting up for the batter, making sure it is super fine. About 3 or 4 slices from it. Okay. Yes. And I'm going to be making my batter with some mayo and some dehydrated onions, more pepper sauce, and hot sauce. And I'm going to season up my flour real good as well. Make sure these are super, super fine. That way they'll be all through the batter. Nice and spicy. Yes. Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. Okay. Switch, what a switch. Okay, I think that's fine enough. Go ahead and get my batter started. First, I'm going to season up my flour. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Got flour here already. This is a mixture of flour and cornstarch. Hey, Monique family, how you doing? How you doing? I just popped on here. I'm getting ready to fry up some crab sticks. Yes, 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 yes. I'm frying up some crab sticks. This snack is going to be a really spicy batter. And I'm just got through cutting up my jalapeno to go in my batter. This is my flour. I'm going to season it up. How you doing, Monique? How you doing? Yes. Get me some salt, garlic, and onion powder for my flour. Yes. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know this was a pop-up, pop-up, pop-up. Was not planned. Yes. Good, good. I'm so glad. Yes. I'll be on tonight too, but since I was getting ready to do this, and it's a pretty quick dish, I said, let me go ahead and do it live. Let me do it live. Got my skillet on over here. Cast iron skillet takes a while to heat up. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yes, awesome sauce, awesome sauce. Have never eaten that before. Oh, okay, yeah, I do it from time to time. It's a good snack, you know, it's not like a whole meal or anything, but it's a good snack. I'm really pretty much the only person in my family that likes it, so I'll be putting half up, eating half, and putting half up. Okay, I've got that all seasoned up, so I'm gonna set that aside. Hey, Chelino, hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? How are you doing? I am cooking some fried crab sticks. Got my crab already here, and I'm just making my batter. Just got through seasoning up my flour and chopping up my jalapeno that's going to go in the batter. How you doing, Chelino? How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Yes, this is mayo I'm putting in here. And I'm going to add some hot sauce to it. Yes, I am. Let me have to try it out. Have you made a video on that? No, I didn't. But you know, this indexes into a video. So typically, if I do a live cooking demo, which I've done about 4 or 5 so far, I don't go back and do a video on it because that is a video. Because it's going to index into a video. Yes. And this is jalapeno slices that are pickled. And I'm just putting some of the juice in here from that. Yes, I'm great just driving to Palm Springs. You're always on the road, Chelino. You are always on the road. I guess that's a good thing. Yes, that's a good thing. Yes, a little salt in here. And a little bit more garlic and onion. Yes, I like them. I like them a lot. Some pepper. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome sauce, awesome sauce. So glad you guys stopped in. So glad you guys stopped in. I've got to eventually set things up where you can see my stove. I am going to
I'm Dr. Josh Axe, Doctor of Natural Medicine and co-founder of Ancient Nutrition. And today I want to talk about the original multi-collagen. And here's a big thing to know. Almost nobody is getting enough collagen in their diet. In fact, you know that 1/3 of your entire body, all the proteins, are collagen proteins. Most people out there today are getting their protein from grains or from places like chicken, eggs, and beef. But did you know there's no collagen in any of those products? We need collagen to be healthy. And if you're a person who wants to see your body change in terms of the overall health of your gut, your skin, hair, and nails, so overall your beauty, how you look and feel, along with your joints, you've got to be getting more collagen in your diet. So I want to encourage you,
products so you can run these businesses in just 30 minutes a day.
Hey guys, welcome back to my. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making classic chicken and dumplings. Yes, this is the dish that got me started cooking at age 5, and I've been cooking ever since. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos, and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, so we have our chicken that's been washed and is ready to be cooked. This is 4 chicken leg quarters where the thigh and the leg is still connected. I find that with chicken and dumplings, the dark meat works best. So this is what we'll be using today. I'm going to just get my hand. Our onions and seasonings in the pot. Okay, so I have about a half a cup of chopped onions that we're going to put in. And then next, we're going to put in some salt. Now I'm using Himalayan salt today. You don't need nearly as much salt when you're using Himalayan salt. As you do sea salt or regular salt. The one thing about making chicken and dumplings that I always tell the story was I asked my aunt how did you season the dumplings? And she told me you don't season the dumplings, the juice will. And I found out over the years that you have to add quite a bit of seasoning. So that was onion and garlic powder, sea salt. Okay, now I'm going to fill the pot up with water. Then we're going to go ahead over to the stove and get our chicken boiled. We're going to let it cook on the stove on high, let it boil for about an hour. done now. So we're going to take it out. I'm going to put the lid. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to
This is the Nest Hub from Google. Oh, that's a good shot. And it can, oh, that's a keeper. This thing is really useful because, did I mention it shows you photos?
This time of year, a lot of us are celebrating, but many are also hiding. Anxiety, sadness, or depression. Don't hide. Take a step to feeling better. Talk to your doctor. Fearless is asking for help.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making crispy fried onion rings. Yes. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, guys, the first thing we need to do is slice up our onions. I'm going to be slicing them at about a half of inch thickness. And you just want to separate them by punching them through gently to form the rings. This little skin part inside, if it's coming out, you can go ahead and just take it out. You don't really need it. Okay, just separate them and then we put them into water. This is just regular room temperature water. Let me get the skin off of here right now. And we soak them so that it takes the edge off of the onion. So you don't feel like you're biting down into raw onion. It just takes that strong onion flavor right out of them. Okay, so I'm going to slice up a couple of more slices. I'm just making enough onion rings for maybe about 2 or 3 servings. Just separate them and put them in the water. We're going to let them soak maybe about 5 minutes while we make our batter. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish getting these onion rings sliced up. And sometimes when you slice them, as you see right here, they actually break. And I just go ahead and set those aside. You want to get as many actual rings as you can. You can fry up the extra pieces, but for presentation purposes, you want just the rings. Okay, now it's time for our batter. This is just a simple batter. I'm using about 1/2 cup of flour. We're going to put some seasonings in it, starting with more onion powder. And yes, even though they're onions, we're using onion powder because we need the flavor in the batter as well. This is garlic powder, and I'm probably adding about a teaspoon each to the flour. Then we're going to add in some paprika. That's going to give it a nice color onto the golden brown fried onion rings, and a little chili powder for just a tad bit of heat. Okay, guys, and then we're also adding in a little sea salt. We're going to put that in here too. You always want to add a little salt because it's going to just bring out the flavors. So just shake a few times of salt in there. Then last but not least, we're going to add some parsley flakes. Now, any of these ingredients that you don't want in, you can always just simply leave them out or add your own flavor ingredients in as well. Now, before we add our liquid, we want to make sure that our herbs and spices are evenly distributed. I'm going to add a little bit more parsley flakes. Make sure they're all evenly distributed throughout. Just mix them well. Then we're going to go ahead and add in water. Now I have about a cup of water here, but I'm probably only going to use about half of that. And you want to add your water in just a little bit at a time because you can't take it out, but you can always add more. Make sure it's mixed really well. And at the end, you want your batter to be the consistency of maybe cake batter or pancake batter. Either one, you don't want it too thick because then it will just clump up and you will bite into the onion ring and you'll have a ring of batter that will come off. And we don't want that. And if it's too thin, when you go to coat the onion rings, your batter will be spotted when you fry it. You'll have a little batter here, then this piece of onion won't have the batter on it, and the ring will not be fully coated. So it's important to mix it well and to have the right consistency for your batter. Okay, get this all mixed up really well. And like I said, if you need to add more water, add it a little bit at a time. Okay, now I'm going to coat the onion rings. I've drained the water off. This is cornmeal that I'm shaking on here now. We're going to put this on here so that the batter will adhere. And to the cornmeal, I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch. After we get this on here, we just want to gently toss the rings. Make sure you gently toss it so that the rings don't break. Okay, just make sure that they are all coated, well coated. Then we'll be ready to head over to the stove so that we can get them all fried up. Yes. Okay, guys. Now we have our skillet on medium-high heat. The oil has been heated. Since the batter sat just a couple of seconds there, you want to make sure you give it another good stir. Now we're going to put our onions in the batter one ring at a time. You do not want to put all of your rings in the batter at one time. They'll clump up together and it'll just be one big mess. Also, guys, shake off as much of the extra batter as you can before putting them into the hot oil. Also, as you put them in the hot oil, make sure that they are not touching and give them room. Do not overcrowd the skillet and do not drop a bunch in at one time. The batter will clump up and stick all together. And make sure you get the extra batter off before you put them in the hot oil. That will keep you from having a lot of little bitty pieces of batter all throughout your oil. You're going to probably get a few here and there, but you shouldn't have too many. Make sure your onion rings aren't touching when you put them into the hot oil. Okay, and make sure they're also coated very well in the batter on both sides. Okay, now I have my large cast iron skillet, but as you see, I have 5 onion rings in there because I don't want them crowded. You want them to kind of swim around in the oil. When they swim around in the oil, you're guaranteed that you're not going to have greasy onion rings. And guys, that goes for French fries, chicken, pretty much anything you're frying. You want it to be able to have room in the skillet to move around. When it moves around, it fries in the oil. When it's overcrowded, it soaks up the oil. So if you ever fry some chicken and you bite into it and it's really greasy, you had too many pieces in the skillet. Okay, guys. Yes, you want to cook them probably about 2 or 3 minutes on each side, then give it a good turn. Look at that, nice and golden brown on that side. Yes, looking really good here. Okay, get them all turned over, and we're going to let them cook on the other side for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, they're ready to come out. Look at that, guys, nice and golden brown and well coated. As you can see, the batter is completely all over the entire onion ring, and there's not a lot of crumbs in the skillet because we made sure that we took off all the extra batter. Just give it a shake before you put it in the oil. So I've got a second batch I'm going to do here, and then guys, we'll be all done. Okay, our second batch is done. We can get these out of the skillet. Yes, we are done with our onion rings and they are smelling good. I wish you guys could smell them. Woo, they smell good and they are nice and crispy to the touch. I have them cooling on a cooling rack with paper towels underneath so that they won't get soggy by sitting directly on the paper towels. I always drain my fried food this way. Okay, guys, take a look at these onion rings. Yes, don't they look nice and golden brown? Okay, guys, we are all done. And if you guys like these how-to videos, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. I have the link in the description as well as right here. Leave me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. And guys, don't forget to subscribe. Tap the bell so you'll always be notified and you won't miss any of my videos. I sure am glad you guys came to hang out and cook with me today. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for coming and watching, hanging out with me today. And I will see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making Maryland style crab cakes. Yes. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos. And tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, guys, I have my crab meat all shredded. That's about a half a pound. And I have my tray here, but we're going to set that aside. And right now, I'm going to use my Morton pestle to grind up my breadcrumbs. This is just a piece of French bread that I had, just a small portion that I cut off and chopped up. I only need about 2 tablespoons, so it's not worth me pulling out my blender and grinding it up that way. I might as well just do it by hand. So I'm just going to keep mashing this around, and it's going to grind up into some nice fine breadcrumbs. Then we'll move on to the rest of our ingredients. Take a look. It's starting to get fine, and when I finish, it'll be real fine breadcrumbs. So I'm just going to go ahead and grind these up real quick. Okay, that should do it. Nice and fine. Take a look. Okay, that's all done. Now, guys, we've got our crab meat here. And to it, we're going to be also adding our black pepper. We also have parsley flakes. We have hot sauce. We also have mayo. And we have dried mustard that we're going to be putting in. And then we have our sea salt, and this is actually smoked sea salt. I get these from my local health food store. You can use regular salt or sea salt. That's smoked, and we are going to be putting in 1 egg. Then we're going to have a little olive oil to prepare our pan with. And of course, guys, we don't want to forget our breadcrumbs that we ground up by hand. Okay, I'm going to set the crab aside. And first, we're going to go ahead and get the olive oil on our pan so we make sure that our crab cakes won't stick. We're going to be putting these in the oven under the broiler for about 10 or 15 minutes, just until they turn golden brown. Put them under the broiler. You want to preheat your broiler, so I actually have my oven already on and the broiler is preheating. You just want to make sure you put a little olive oil all over the pan wherever you're going to have your crab cakes, and that should do it. Okay, guys, now set this pan aside and we can get back to our crab. Yes. Okay, so now first thing we're going to do is beat our egg. I always like to crack my egg in a separate dish just in case it turns out not to be good. So we're going to just lightly beat this. You just want to kind of make sure the yolk is mixed in with the white part of the egg. So we're just going to beat that a little bit. And now we're going to start adding our ingredients with our breadcrumbs first. Put that in. We're going to add all the ingredients that we have at once and then combine. Okay, so next we're going to put in about a tablespoon and a half of parsley flakes. And I'm just using a regular spoon, guys. This isn't a measuring spoon. You can measure it out if you want, but I make these all the time. So I pretty much know about how much I want in them. Now, I'm going to put in the smoked sea salt, but with the salt and pepper, always use salt and pepper to taste. If you don't want a lot of salt, you can easily omit it, or you can use regular salt. If you don't want pepper, you can leave that out as well. Just make sure you put in your salt and pepper according to taste. And I'm just going to shake a little of black pepper right on the top of it. After that, guys, we're going to add in our dried mustard. And for the dried mustard, this is probably going to be, if I was measuring it out, maybe about a half a teaspoon full of dried mustard. All right. Next, we're going to be adding in our mayo. This is going to be roughly about a tablespoon and a half of just regular mayo. Just put everything in. It's no need to separate it, mix separately or anything like that. So it's about a half, tablespoon and a half, not a half, just a tablespoon and a half of mayo. Then a few dashes of hot sauce. I always like to shake my hot sauce because I feel like it sits and everything just goes to the bottom. So I give it a good shake first. Then we'll add in our already lightly beaten egg. Okay, guys. Now it's time to mix. You just want to make sure it's very well combined. So mix it up good, guys. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yes. Now we're going to actually form our patties. Get my hands washed up real good there. We're going to form them, just mix them, take the mix by hand, and you want to form each one into a pretty much of a ball. We're going to lay the ball down and then flatten it into a patty. So make it into a small ball, and you can make these as large or as small as you want. I like them probably about the size of, I don't know, small hamburger, something like that. So you can make them whatever size you like. I have made them much larger, and I also have made them almost like meatballs. So you can be flexible and creative. These are probably about the size of a small hamburger, guys, something like a slider, probably about the size of a slider. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and bang these all out, guys. right, so got my last one all done, guys. And that amount for me and the slider size made about 7. Okay, that's what they look like before they go into the oven. All right, we're going to put them in the oven. Again, guys, they're under the broiler. We're going to leave them here for about 10 or 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. Okay, they've been in there about 10 or 15 minutes. Time to take them out and take a look at what we have. Yes. Woohoo! These look delicious. Look at that, guys. Nice and golden brown. Awesome, awesome sauce. Okay, guys. Yes. Now I'm prepping the garnish that I'm going to put on them as we plate. I have a few spinach leaves here, and I'm just chopping up some green onions to go on top. So you can pretty much garnish these with whatever you like. I've also garnished them sometimes with lemon wedges and radishes, but today I'm just going to use a little spinach on my plate and garnish them with the green onions. Okay, so that's about a half a green onion there. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside so we can get our plate right front and center. Yes. Okay, guys, now you can plate however you like. I'm just going to put a few greens down here at the top and going to put my crab right on top in a line and let that be my crab dish for today. After we get this plated and all garnished up, guys, we will be all done. Okay, so I'm just going to take my crab and sit them on here. And I'm going to finish garnishing this. And then, guys, we'll be all done. Okay, so I've got about 4 of the crab cakes on the plate, and now I'm just going to put my garnish on it. And guys, guess what? We are done, and it is time to eat. Yes, look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? Colorful and pretty. Yes. Okay, guys. Look at that, all plated and ready for me to dig in. And guys, if you like these how-to videos, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. I have the link in the description as well as right here. Leave me some comments. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Tap that bell, guys, so you'll always be notified. I sure am glad you guys came to hang out with me and cook today. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. Just a fun little video for Halloween. Enjoy! As always, like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making homemade English muffins. Yes, and you won't even need an oven. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes, the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos, and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay guys, we're going to get started. We have here our yogurt, and we have self-rising flour. Just 2 ingredients. That's all you need. First, we're going to put our yogurt. This is just plain yogurt, no extra sugar or any flavoring added to it. You can use Greek yogurt if you like. I just like to use the regular plain yogurt. So first thing we're going to do is temper this by microwaving it for just a second or two. Okay, that's done. Now just give it a quick stir. Then we're going to sift in our flour. You can use a sifter, or you can just use a mesh strainer. Just sift it through. Make sure there's no lumps and clumps in there. Okay, got that all done. After that, guys, we're going to go ahead and give it a good stir. Start to stir it up. Make sure your yogurt is mixed in well with your flour. We'll start mixing it at first with a spoon, ending up using our hands. Okay, just make sure that it's combined. Don't stir it too roughly. You don't want to over mix it. It should start coming together. As you can see, it's coming together quite nicely. So just mix it with the spoon until it comes pretty much together. Then after that, we're going to set our spoon aside and use our hands. Let me take my ring off so I won't have to worry about cleaning it later. Okay, so now we're going to get in here and we're going to finish mixing it with our hands, and then we'll knead it. You just want to keep mixing it until it forms a soft ball. Okay, now we're going to put a little flour onto our countertop so that the dough will not stick to the counter. Again, this is just some all-purpose flour that we're putting down. You want to make sure it doesn't get all stuck to your counter, and just dump it out. Okay, now from here, guys, we're just going to knead it. You don't want to knead it too roughly. You want to use soft fingers to knead it with so that it won't get tough. If you knead it too tough, it will be tough dough. So you want to be gentle while you're kneading it. Might need to add a little extra flour because your fingers will get sticky. Okay, just continue to knead it until you have a nice soft dough ball. Then we're going to form it into a cylinder and slice it from there. Okay, so get it nice, formed into a log, and then from there, we're going to slice it first in half. and then we're going to slice it so that we'll have 6 total biscuits, or 6 total English muffin slices. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take my little cutter here, and we're going to slice it down the middle so that we'll make sure we have 2 equal halves, and then each half will get cut into thirds. This is going to be our actual English muffins. We'll have 6. So just go ahead and cut them as evenly as possible. Then you want to take the dough and form it into a circle. Form each of the little slices that you just made into a circle. You may need extra flour because, again, the dough will be slightly sticky, but that's what you want. Okay, I'm going to form each one, and after we get them all formed into balls, guys, then we're going to flatten them out and let them rest for about 5 or 10 minutes. Just let them sit there, right there where they are on your floured surface, and rest. And guys, when you get ready to let them rest, make sure that each muffin is sitting on top of flour so that as they rest, they won't stick to your countertop or whatever surface that you happen to be using. Okay, so I think we're just about done here with getting our circles made. We'll wrap this up right quick. Now you just want to take your fingers, make sure each one is on a floured part of your surface, and just flatten them gently so they won't be circles, but they'll be flat going into the size and shape of your English muffins. After this, guys, we'll be ready to head over to the stove. Okay. And as you're forming them, make sure they're in as much of a circle as you can possibly get. Okay, let's get to the stove now. All right, guys, we need to have our skillet on low. And I'm going to actually be doing this in 2 different skillets. My cast iron skillet and a stainless steel skillet. I just kind of want you to let you see how they do in both. They pretty much turn out the same, but it takes much longer in the cast iron skillet than it does in the stainless steel skillet, because the cast iron skillet is much thicker and you absolutely must cook these on low heat. So I've been letting my skillet over here heat up for a while because it is cast iron. It takes a while to heat up as well, even on low, or I should say especially on low. Okay, so I've got about a half a tablespoon of olive oil in here, and I'm spreading it all around, including the sides. Give it a good coating. Then we're just going to lay each one of our muffins down, not touching, but we're going to put each one down side by side. Then, guys, we're going to cover our skillet completely with the top and let them cook for about 10 minutes. Then we'll flip them over. You must keep them on low. That's crucial. They must be on low. Okay, and I'm already got my stainless steel skillet going over there. So we're going to get these covered up real good, and I'll take you over to the stainless steel section. Okay, so these have already been cooking. As you see, they're coming along quite nicely. And I've done both sides, and so I'm going to go ahead and let these get covered and do the second side of the stainless steel, and the cast iron is still on the first side. So now the ones in the stainless steel skillet, they're done. And the other ones in the cast iron skillet have only cooked on one side. So you can see the difference in the time. So if you have a stainless steel skillet, they will be much quicker. I just happen to like using my cast iron. Okay, so now we're going to get these over here in the cast iron skillet flipped over and let them cook on the second side for about 10 minutes as well. Don't forget to cover your skillet while they're cooking until it becomes rest time. Then you're actually letting them dry out, and that's what the ones in the stainless steel skillet are doing now. They're actually drying out. Okay, guys, let's flip these over on the other side so that the other side can become dry as well. All right, looking good, looking good. Yes, okay. Now we've got the ones over here in the cast iron skillet cooked on both sides, and it is time to let them dry. All right, awesome, awesome. Yes. Okay, so these are all done. So we're going to go ahead, get them out of the skillet. Then we're going over to the counter, guys, and I'm going to slice one open so that you can see the inside and see the textures of the English muffins. Then we're coming back to the stove and we're going to toast them. Toast the insides of them. All right, yes, look at that, guys. Okay, all done. Let's get to the counter. Okay, guys, we are going to slice these open so that you guys can see the texture of the inside. Yes. Oh, and they are quite hot still. Yes, yes, yes. The heat retains from that cast iron skillet, so I have to be careful while slicing them. But I want you guys to see the inside texture right quick. Then we can head back over and get them all toasted up. Awesome. Okay, look at that, guys. Yes, perfect. Looks good, looks good. Okay, guys, let's head over to the stove and get these toasted. Okay, so I've got my cast iron skillet heating over here already, and I'm going to be adding about maybe a couple of tablespoons of butter. Just regular butter, and I'm going to also add about a tablespoon of olive oil to the skillet. I always like to mix my butter and my olive oil. The butter will give it flavor, and the olive oil makes it, or helps it, I should say, crisp up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this butter and olive oil spread around together so it can mix well in the skillet. Then we will toast our muffins up. Okay, get our muffins in here, cut side down, and we just want to make sure they're toasted so they'll be nice and golden brown on the inside and a little crisp. You can eat them as is, you don't have to toast them, but like to have mine all toasted up. Okay, we are about done here. Look at that, nice and toasted. Yes. Make sure you know which top goes with which bottom so that when you have a sandwich, they will equal up and you won't have one piece that's larger than the other because remember, these were hand shaped. And there we have it, guys. Yes, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich on an English muffin. Yes. And if you guys like these how-to videos, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. I have the link in the description as well as right here. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you like English muffins? How did yours turn out? And guys, don't forget to subscribe. Tap that bell so that you'll always be notified. I sure am glad you guys always come to hang out and cook with me. I really do enjoy each and every one of you. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yum, and welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. And today we are going to be making smothered pork chops. And if you want to learn how to make all kind of food and dishes homemade the easy and simple way, subscribe so you'll get all my videos and tap that bell so you'll get notified. Let's get started. Okay, guys, let's just dive right in. And as you can see, I have a jar of mayo in my hand. Yes, just regular, real mayonnaise. And you know, sometimes when you don't have buttermilk on hand or ingredients to make buttermilk with, guess what, guys? Mayo works wonders. It's tasty, it's already seasoned, and all you need to do is add water to it. Now, I put about 3 tablespoons of mayo into this dish. And I'm just adding water and I'm going to stir and stir until it's nice and smooth. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, so now we have our pork chops here. These are boneless pork chops. They're about a ½ inch thick, as you can see. And we're just going to coat them first in our mayonnaise. And then we are going to just put seasoned flour on them. Now I've just got a little salt, onion, and garlic powder in here and a little cracked black pepper. So you just want to make sure they're well coated. You want your skillet to have a little oil in it, maybe about a quarter of an inch or so of oil. And you want your skillet on medium high heat. Just put your pork chop in there and let it sizzle away. Okay, so I'm going to just get all of the rest of these pork chops coated. And in the skillet, we're going to fry them until they are a nice golden brown. Yum. Okay, guys, now we have them ready to turn over. We just want to make sure that they are golden brown on each side. So we're going to go ahead and flip these over. Yes. See that color, guys? These are nice and golden brown. I couldn't ask for a better color on them. And never overcrowd your skillet, guys. I have about 8 chops. I'm going to do them in 2 batches. Never overcrowd your skillet. That'll cause your meat to get really greasy. Okay, guys, so we are all done frying our pork chops. I always fry whatever, if it's smothered chicken, pork chops, or whatever. I like to fry it first. Look at that, guys. And as usual, they're draining on a cooling rack with paper towels underneath. Nice and golden brown. Okay, guys, so now we are going to make our gravy. And guys, I'm going to run through this gravy section here relatively quick. And if you want to know the step by step directions, I have a link right above me right now. You can click on that and get the full video for making gravy. Right now, we're just adding our flour, getting this all stirred up, and we're going to be putting in some onion, salt, garlic powder, and onion powder into it. Then after that, we're going to get that mixed in and we're going to add water to it. Now you can also add chicken or beef broth, but check out that video to find out all the details. Now that we have our gravy made, we're adding our pork chops back in. We want to make sure they are good and covered. Now this time, all 8 chops will be able to fit into the skillet. Go ahead, take a spoon, get them covered up real good. Then what we're going to do is let them sit in this gravy and simmer for maybe about 15 minutes or so until they are nicely coated. And we're done. Woohoo! Look at that, guys. Smothered pork chops. Delicious. And guys, if you like these how-to videos, consider supporting me over on Patreon too. I have the link in the description as well as right here. And guys, give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you'll get notified. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chef Pam, and this is Chef and More. It's getting just a little bit chilly in my neck of the woods, so it's time to make up some soup. Yes. Today, we are going to be making homemade potato soup, cream of potato. Yes, and if you want to learn how to make all kind of homemade food and dishes the easy and simple way, subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos and tap that bell so you'll always be notified. We're going to get started right now. Okay, guys, I have 3 Idaho potatoes here and a pan of cold water. You don't need a lot of potatoes. I'm going to make a pot about the size of the pot I have here full of soup. And it's going to make about 4 servings of maybe about a cup and a half of soup. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the potatoes. I'm actually using my paring knife.